If you're wanting to add a little bit more protein into your meals, then these next two recipes I'm going to show you are going to fit the bill, so stick around. Hi, Debbie Chu here from Chu on Vegan. Welcome to my kitchen. If you're new here, I'm a plant-based RN and I follow a whole food plant-based way of eating with a focus on protein. And the focus on protein is because I want to build muscle and protect my bones as I get older and to increase my longevity. All the information for these two recipes will be in the description box below. And be sure to take a look at my description box because I have a lot of resources down there. I have some discount codes. I have a link to my cookbook, my online course, my Facebook group, so check that out as well. So today these two recipes are pretty much a one pot kind of a meal. The first one's going to be a pasta and veg dish. I'm going to be using some chickpea pasta, which is higher in protein. It's also gluten-free, which I am gluten-free, so I need to use a gluten-free pasta, and this is a really good one. Also be adding some nutritional yeast, some peas, lots of veg, so I think you're going to like this one. And the second one's going to be my vegan chili. And this one's going to have TVP, which is textured vegetable protein, which is basically just soy. And it's really delicious, so easy. That is a one pot recipe. So let's get started. So for the base of this dish, we're going to start with some water, just heating up in here. And then we've got carrots, onion, and celery. And we're just going to let this go for about 5 minutes. I'm going to cover it up and let these saute for about 5 minutes. All right, it's been about 5 minutes. Now we're gonna start layering some flavors. First up, a couple tablespoons of tomato paste. Tomato paste can be a really underused little item and it really brings out the flavor. We need a little bit of water here. To get that going. Perfect. Then we're also going to add some spices. I've got a teaspoon of Italian seasoning. I got a tablespoon of nutritional yeast. And then I just dissolved a half a cube of my no chicken bouillon in a cup of water. So throw that in. And then we'll just get this all combined. And I've got my pasta all ready to go. You just want to reserve a little bit of the cooking pasta in case you need to thin things out. And I almost forgot, I need some garlic, a couple teaspoons. And we're just going to let this cook for a few minutes. And I'm also going to throw in some peas. We'll just let this cook for 3 to 4 minutes. And then to add a little creaminess, we're going to add a little bit of my homemade yogurt. This is not only going to add some nice texture, but protein. Then let's stir this in. And we'll throw in our pasta. And this is chickpea pasta. And then of course you're going to want to taste it, make sure everything is to your liking, but I'm just going to let this cook in the sauce for a couple of minutes. We'll add in a little fresh basil. And we'll just let that simmer for a couple of minutes. We start the chili the same way we started the last recipe, with onions, carrots, and celery. So we're going to throw these in the pot here. This is just water. And this is always a great base for anything. So we're just going to let these cook for 5-6 minutes. We want them to get softened. I've chopped these up really small. I use my chopper. So I'm just going to cover these and let these go for about 5-6 minutes till they're soft. All right, so this is looking good. So now let's start building flavor. First thing I want to add in is about 3 tablespoons of tomato paste, 2 teaspoons of garlic, and then I have spices. What do I have in here? Chili powder, oregano, salt, smoked paprika, and cumin. So get those in there. We'll stir this up a little bit. Now you can make chili all different ways, with or without beans. I know there's some people think if it's beans, it's not chili, or it is chili. I don't know. I just know that I want beans in mine for protein and for fiber. Okay, so my video decided to cut out, which is just so much fun. So I added a can of fire roasted tomatoes. If you can get fire roasted, that's great. And then I added a tablespoon of sugar. You can use whatever kind of sweetener you would like. Next, I'm adding in some TVP, textured vegetable protein. This is my soy protein here. And I just started with a cup, but it does plump up when you rehydrate it. Now I'm going to add some pinto beans. You could add whatever kind of beans you want. You could add kidney, you could add black. I just had pinto, so that's what I'm going with. Now I'm going to add just a can of water from the tomatoes. And I'm going to also add in a not chicken bouillon cube. If you don't have that, you can just use broth, a cup of broth. So I'm going to bring this up to a boil. And then I'm just going to let this simmer for 20-30 minutes. Just get all the flavors to get together. And you're going to stir it every once in a while. Once it comes up to a boil, I'm just going to simmer it, turn it down to a simmer. All right, then when we come back, I'm going to show you the last step. During the last 5 minutes, I'm going to add about a cup of finely chopped kale, or you could use spinach. And I'm going to add in a couple tablespoons of lemon juice. That's just going to wake up the flavors. Now I'm just going to let this continue to simmer for another 5 minutes so that kale gets a little bit softened. And then I'll show you how I top it. All right, so here it is. Let me show you how I finish it up. I like to add a little avocado for some healthy fats. And a little bit of red onion. And a little scoop of my Greek yogurt, which is just very much like sour cream. And then a couple of little shakes of red pepper flakes. This is optional. You've got a delicious bowl of vegan chili. All right, finished product, let's give this a taste. I added a tablespoon of my yogurt on top. It's so good. And then also a little bit of avocado. So good. This definitely hits the spot. It's a great way to get your protein in. I've got the TVP, I've got beans, and then topping it with a little bit of the yogurt. So all in all, pretty good deal. One more bite. So good. If you wanted this a little bit hotter, you could do some red pepper flakes, add some cayenne, or even add more chili powder than I did. I like it a little bit more on the mild side, and then I just put a few flakes of red pepper on top, and then that's perfect for me. So if you like this video, if you got value out of it, please give it a like and share it with your friends. And if you want to support my channel, please subscribe if you haven't already. And if you've made it this far in the video, please comment below with chili, and that way I know you made it to the end with me, and I really appreciate it. Remember that all my recipes are good for you, they're good for the animals, and they're good for the planet, and what you put on your plate determines your fate. Until next time, thank you.